and welcome to Yellow, the second in the Rainbow series on Inspired by Memories. Here I have made a cut file, but I don't want to have the single letters, so I've mounted it on some scrap card and I'm going to cut round it. The idea being is I would like to raise it, and the paper that I've printed it on was a silhouette print and cut file, so it is actually on just normal printer paper, so it's a bit floppy, hence why I've put it onto card. So I'm going to fussily cut round it, and then I'm going to mount it on pads. But before I do that, I need some stitching. So all the way round the word spring, I'm punching equally parted holes, well, as close as I can get them, and then I will be stitching them later on in yellow, believe it or not. But I do have to use 5 mediums, so stitching will be one of them. Okay, so that's off to be stitched, and now I need to gesso my page quite thickly at the top, because I am planning to not only use watercolours but also some Deco Art gel. So I'm going to put quite a thick layer at the top and then thinner at the bottom. I made a stencil for some clouds, and this is the thick gel gloss by Deco Art. I'm really pleased with the way they've come out. They took some drying, I must admit, and you can't really see them from this angle. But the idea is that when I put the watercolours on, that they would stand out on their own. So basically I just cut out some clouds and popped it through with a palette knife. This last one was quite tricky because obviously the others were still wet, but we got there in the end. So I literally just placed it down, squirted the gel in, and then smoothed it out. But I didn't want it extra smooth because clouds are bumpy, so each one is quite rough. So once I've done that and they've dried, I will be applying watercolours. Very minimal watercolours, because basically it's just the sky, but I wanted raindrops to fall down and a glimmer of sun as well, obviously for the yellow. So all I can do at this stage is spray some water, very fine water, over the page, hence why I use gesso, and then get my watercolours, which unfortunately it did film, but I lost it in the transition, so you're just going to see me start and finish, I'm afraid. But as you can see there, I'm mixing up some blues, added some water, and then I'm going to apply it to a wet page, and that's the effect I got. Apologies for that, that was just a complete question mark. I don't know how that happened, but that's how the page turned out, and I am pretty pleased with it. Still want to do something on the sun glare because I'm not happy with that, but the clouds, I think they look fantastic, and also the raindrops, I'm really pleased with them. So I'm going to use a blotting technique for the sun because I don't want it to be loud. I just want it to be like just a slight glare. So I'm going to add to the top of the cloud, and hopefully when dry it will give the effect that I want. You've always got the problem of when you've got wet blue and wet yellow that you're going to end up with a green sky. So you have to be really careful. But yeah, that's all I wanted to achieve really, was a background for this cut file. And it does look really cool. I've had that for ages, that gel, and I just thought, now's the time. Let's see what it does. So now I'm going to use this Pink Fresh Studio paper, which I've had for a while too. Purely attracted to it because of the yellow stripe, which really does go colour-wise with the umbrella. There's so many different types and different colours of yellow. I didn't actually realise until you need to do a page in yellow. But yeah, look, it's absolutely spot on. So there's my spring umbrella, and I'm not going to bother doing the umbrella base simply because it's going to be behind the photograph anyway, so I'm just going to leave as is. Now I'm back on the scraps, And I believe this is an Amy Tangerine. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it is. Now, in the process of this video, I lost the colour photograph as well in my art room. So it's got to be between two pieces of paper. So in the end, I only used the black and white one. And I am glad in a way, because it makes the yellow pop. But I must find that photograph somewhere. And I may even add it to the page at a later stage if I find it. So nothing's stuck down at the moment. I'm just literally moving around, trying to add some embellishments or get some idea of what I'm going to do. When I do a page, it's totally off the cuff. I never use a sketch unless I've been asked to. So it is a case of we'll see what happens. And I found this Simple Stories Chasing Rainbows, and it just seems so apt because of the rain and the sun. So I'm going to use that. And then I found some chipboard from Maggie Holmes that I loved. One of them I actually added to the page after the video, simply because I didn't find it until after. So when you see the photographs, you will see a little ticket that wasn't on there before. So here's my raindrops from Pretty Little Studios. And then I found another scrap which has raindrops on it. Can't for the life of me remember who it's by. It's either Heidi Swap or Amy Tangerine, and it's got some raindrops on it, and I've been saving it for a rainy day, because I've actually got a picture that I want to use it with, so I may very well use that on my blue page. So here I am going right the way through the whole 12-inch paper, and I'm working out where it's going to go. As raindrops, I don't just want running on the page, I want them on top of the umbrella as well. That seems to be how I'm going to have my paper. And there you go, there's my stitching. Quick flash of that, yep. Pop that in. Oh, I'm really pleased with that. And those print and cut papers come out really well on my printer. I've got so many, but obviously it's who do you tag when you've printed your own pattern paper. So it's a case of let's place all these raindrops. Some I've raised on pads, some I haven't, to give it a bit of depth. I don't know where that Love You paper came from, the black one. As again, I'm using my scrap busting. Still not even made a dent in it, to be quite honest. Okay, so now the pink fresh goes down. That's it. We've got things stuck down, that's it, with no turning back now. So let's put some stickers on the back of the umbrella to raise it up. I use these clear plastic ones on the back of that umbrella. Oh no, I'm not going to be using them again. They're so hot to peel the backs off. Awful things. Back to my foam. So I've put lots and lots on the umbrella because I want it to stay situ, especially with the gel and etc. on the top of the page. So I've put plenty on there, especially one on each of the umbrella scallops. Yeah, scallops. So building, trying to get them awful pads off. Goodness, it took forever. But once I get those off and that's placed, we're pretty much there. I know where my papers are going. I've got my embellishments to the right, and off we go. Umbrella's in the right place, And now let's pop some raindrops, all different colours, sizes. And sticking those down, well, the ones that are not on pads anyway. If you ever wonder why I've got cardigans and jumpers and coat on while I'm working, it's because my art room is actually outside. So I have to wrap up warm, which comes in pretty difficult when you're trying to do a video or trying to do a layout. Really pleased with the way that's looking at the moment. Can't decide whether to go diagonal with them stripes. Let's see what happens. That's the paper I was talking about. It hasn't quite got the name on it. It's so lovely. It does look like an Amy Tangerine one though. We will see. I'm sure somebody will tell me. In all the leading up to this, the stripe paper was actually following the line of the pink fresh stripe, so I'm sure I'm going to turn it. So just backed it on, haven't raised it up at the moment, I'm just backing it on black card to make it prominent, and some of the raindrops are black. So there we go. Can't make up my mind. Up and down, left or right. And that's what we decide on. Lots of raindrops, and now we start sticking things down. I do love layering. It just makes the page look so lovely. Just raising it up just that little bit, just the shadows. Still playing at this stage because I don't know where I'm going to put the black and how much I'm going to use of it until I finally decide that it looks best on that side. So we're going to stick it down. No turning back now. Still playing. What am I going to do with this? Nothing. Can't make up my mind. So I'll make a tag out of it. Gives another dimension. And there it goes. As if it was meant to be. Now I have this thought about putting a frame, putting the carousel by Maggie Holmes in a frame. Now the concept was brilliant, however the frames that I had, and I didn't want to cut any more because I've got so many, it didn't fit, so I decided against that. I really do play around when I'm doing a layout. I change my mind all the time. I hope I'm not the only one who does that, because it's how it works. It's how you build the page, and sometimes it turns out completely different. So in the end, I've decided against a frame and just used the stripy paper, and I think it looks much better. And I'm glad I put the cut of the raindrops in, because it does actually bring in the carousel pink colour, which I'm really pleased about. please join us on Inspired by Memories. It doesn't start till the 1st of May, so jump in and enjoy the challenge. We will be building a rainbow of all the layouts in their colour sections, and hopefully connect them all on an app to build a rainbow at the end. It would be fantastic if we could do that, but we will see what happens. So I'm just adding a bit here, a bit there. I've just added an arrow paper clip to the top of the tag, and I think that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as I say, there are a few added bits on the pictures. Join me next time. Bye.